Hello, everyone. We hope all is well and that you're taking necessary precautions to stay healthy. We know how you feel about your hair, but your health is most important to us during this time. The Loc Network is adhering to the mandatory statewide Stay Home Act due to COVID-19 outbreak. We are closed March 31st through April 15th, 2020. We appreciate your patience. At the end of this video, if you still have questions, please contact your consultant with the information provided. Without further ado, here are your ladies of the Loc Network. Alicia Wells, Certified Sister Loc Consultant, owner of My Lotus Locks. Kim Irby, our Certified Sister Loc Consultant, Sister Loc Brand Ambassador, and owner of Exquisite Locks. Valerie Perlio, Sister Loc Trainee, owner of Locks Without Limits. Shanika Fleming, licensed cosmetologist, certified Sister Loc consultant, owner of Shanika Renee Salon Suite. Floretta Davis, our certified Sister Loc consultant, Sister Loc brand ambassador, owner of Loc Innovations. And here is our message from Flo.
In Columbia, South Carolina. Together, we make up the core cohesive team entitled the Loc Network, which was started in our area to provide professional, exclusive services to the Sister Locs, Brother Locs, Micro Locs, and interlocking community. The purpose of this video today is to provide information regarding several things that are taking place that has caused a disruption in hair services across our lovely state of South Carolina. I'm sure you have heard of COVID-19, which is a deadly respiratory disease that has caused an international pandemic. We want to give you accurate information regarding the state of affairs related to hair servicing, provide tips for newly established Sister Locs and mature Sister Locs. In addition, we will discuss pitfalls to avoid during this quarantine and end with a recap of general information that we hope you find useful. On March 29th, 2020, the City of Columbia issued a stay-at-home ordinance to assist with limiting socializations in an effort to decrease the spread of this disease. On April 1st, 2020, the governor issued a statewide stay-at-home ordinance which closed non-essential businesses to include hair salons. This executive order was reinforced by the governor on April 6, 2020, in which he closed additional non-essential businesses and placing restrictions that most other U.S. states have put into effect. What does this mean for us as stylists, consultants, and clients in the state of South Carolina? We are closed. Only temporarily at this time from April 1st through April 15th, 2020. At this time, no one knows if this will be extended or not. We must all follow the rules and mandates of this state, which includes social distancing and preventing spread of this disease. It does not matter if your consultant works in a salon, a suite, a booth, has a traveling service, a barbershop, or even their home. Any and every person who provides hair services should restrict public access as it's a health risk foremost, and your livelihood may be at stake. In some states, it is a misdemeanor or a possibility to lose licensure. There is absolutely no way to practice social distancing by staying 6 feet away if we are servicing clients. The Board of Barber Examiners and Cosmetology actively receives and investigates complaints and follows through with actions against those who violate laws and regulations. Again, this means no one is working or should be working at this time until the mandate is lifted. We understand the frustration and the fear you may have regarding your investment in your hair. On behalf of all stylists or consultants, we are hoping to get through this together as a community. So please, please be respectful of business, professional, and personal choices during this time. Don't place your stylist or yourself in a compromising situation. In addition, you will need to contact your individual consultant for specific instructions related to your hair care and scheduling once we are allowed to officially reopen. We will, however, provide you with some generic or general information to assist you during this time. Alicia?
Thank you, Flo. Great information. So what I wanted to offer is hair tips for sister lock wearers that have had their locks for 2 years or less. So we know in the beginning, we have to take extra special care of our new babies, our new locks, and we have to treat it exactly like that, like newborn babies. So the most important thing you can do during this time is to braid and band. And when I say braid, we will loosely braid our hair and band it before we wash. And the same way your consultant described during your initial or formal consultation, that's how you're going to braid and band your hair. So this is not the time to not braid and band. We want to make sure every single time we wash our hair, this is what we do. And this will prevent our locks growing together and excessive slippage along the hairline. My number 2 tip would be to, if you are like exercising, we have more time on our hands right now, so we're going out for walks and excessive exercise, which we sweat. So you can also braid your hair or use loose twists to stack your hair maybe on the top of your head, but just to get the hair, away from your face, to let the sweat drip. And it's kind of just protecting your hair, just like a protective style. And that again will help with excessive slippage because you're still in the new phase. Another tip that I would like to give is consider washing your hair a little bit less. We know that when we do wash our hair, often we will get a lot of, slippage during this time, but since it may be another week or 2 or more before you see your consultant, this will lessen your slippage if you don't wash your hair. And this is just because we're in, the pandemic. So this may help out with excessive slippage. When in doubt, always contact your consultant if you're not sure. I totally get it about washing your hair, but someone who has a really smooth curl pattern, washing it too often can create a lot of slippage. Number 4, make sure you separate your locks. And this goes for newbies as well as veterans. Just make sure anytime you're not doing anything, you can just go in and just pull your hair apart and make sure that it's separated to make sure the locks do not join together. Your hair is fine, for the most part. Don't be afraid of, hurting anything. The grid is there. Just go in and make sure you do that every so often, every 2 to 3 days, just to, be sure. Especially since we're not going out right now. If you want to walk around the house with 2 ponytails, if that helps, that's great. 3 ponytails, whatever works for you. I have number 5 tip. Check in with your consultant. between, during business hours, reach out for text. I know text is good for me. If you have any questions, anything unique that you're not sure of, just please reach out to your consultant. My last tip is that your Sister Loc consultant is human. We are humans. Yes, we're like robots. We we take care of like tons of clients a day, and but we do have lives. We have families. We have little people. A lot of us are doing homeschooling. We're running errands for elderly or running errands for our parents. So just be mindful of that. First and foremost, we are entrepreneurs, and this is how we earn our income. But at the same time, our health and your health is the most important. So with that, yes, we all love to look nice, but guess what? We got to take care of ourselves first. So that concludes my tips for newbies. I am going to hand it over to Kim.
Thanks, Alicia. Hello, guys. I'm going to give a few tips for maintaining your Sister Locs during this time of pandemic for people who have had their locks for 2 years or more, or their locks are in a mature state. By mature, I mean that your ends are closed, or your locks are starting to mat together and form the matted look. The pattern is disappearing. They are more secure, and less prone to slippage and unraveling. The first thing that I'm going to remind you to do is separate. That is most important, because as our hair is growing out and as you get farther and farther away from retightening, the new growth is there. The loose hairs that are growing in can begin to marry together between locks, and you want to be sure you keep your locks separated at the root. Be sure you keep those parts maintained by pulling your hair apart, your locks apart, to be sure they stay intact. One way you can do this is by styling. You can do braids or flat twists as a pinup style. You can do braids as plaits or twists as just loose 2-strand twists. This will help to keep your hair from moving as much, keep you from manipulating it quite so much, and allowing them to stay intact. You can also style it by doing braid outs or roller sets for curls, using pipe cleaners or wrap-a-lock tools. Bantu knots or cocoon curls are some ways that you can do the sets. But again, this will help you, number one, to keep you from manipulating the locks quite so much, but also camouflage the new growth as you are farther and farther away from retightening. We don't know how long this will last, but I'm sure some people are getting close to a retightening time, and at this time we are unable to provide the services. So curls and textured styles will also help in that. So basically, this is the easiest time to have sister locks. You find out what low maintenance really is. All you have to do is keep them separated and do a pinup style or braids or twists or curls to help maintain your style. Once again, the most important thing is to separate. Keep them as individualized as possible. Don't allow them to marry together. You don't want to have an afro of new growth with locks sitting on top. You want to make sure that they all stay separated and intact so you can maintain that grid that you paid so much for and that you are so proud of, that distinguishes your locks from any other locks. Remember that your consultants are always here for you. So feel free to reach out with your questions via text or email. Allow us time to reply to you. You may not get an instantaneous reply because we are also going through this pandemic. We also have families and things that are going on in our lives, but we will reach out to you. Before you try it, if you're in doubt, reach out to us. We will gladly help you out and give you some assistance. Enjoy the hair freedom of sister locks during this pandemic time. It's one of the best times to be a carefree, hair-free person. With that, I'm going to turn you over to Ms. Shanika with more tips.
All right, I'm going to talk about what not to do during this time. One of the things you don't want to do, especially for newly locked people, is overwater your hair. So spritzing daily with water is not a good idea right now, or any other time, but definitely not right now because you're not going to make your scheduled 4-week appointment. But all that extra water is going to cause slippage and have furthermore repair work that you'll need on top of already your retightening schedule. Also, for those of us that have dry scalp issues, just remember what your consultant recommended. Rose water is a good thing to spray on your scalp. It's a natural moisturizer. I know Sulfur 8 medicated spray is very lightweight. That's another one that I recommend to people that do have dry scalp. It's very lightweight, non-greasy, but I'll also use that in moderation as well. You want to remember to wear your shower cap. Don't take showers without shower caps, especially newly locked people. That moisture in the air can cause slippage as well. So remember to keep your shower cap on and your silk bonnet, your satin bonnets at night. I know we have this free time now, so we're trying new hobbies and working out and going walking and sweat. So if you have like a sweatband, any natural satin lined sweatband or any cotton, microfiber is a good, well, not cotton, but microfiber is actually better to use. Any type of band around your hair to protect your hair from sweat and slippage, that would be good. You want to braid and band your hair as you're exercising, just to prevent slippage as well. We also don't want to experiment right now with color. I know there's rinses and box kits that we can buy out the store to cover those grays. I just hang in there, hang in there. Don't try to do anything extra right now. Another one is like apple cider vinegar rinses and things like that. YouTube inspires a lot of curiosity. So try to limit your YouTube. A lot of those videos will have you trying to do things, and just right now is not the time to do it. I will say, don't contact your consultant for your appointments. We are aware of everyone that has scheduled an appointment, and I know I'm personally going in order from the days who scheduled first, and that's the person I'm going to contact to get their next appointment. So don't be alarmed. We will get to you. Just understand this is the hand that we're dealt. We have no control over it. You can contact them, I guess, during normal business hours for emergencies, like, there's a problem. If a lock slips out or you lose a lock, just keep it in a little Ziploc bag, and we'll see if we can reattach it once you get to your next appointment. But yes, less is best. I will say for experimenting, not experiment, Lord, for odor. If you don't really want to wash your hair might smell. If you have a little essential oils, just maybe drop 1 or 2 drops in your water as you mist your hair, once or twice a week. Just mist it with that water, and it'll, give your hair a nice fresh smell. And that's pretty much it. Less is best. Separate your locks and just hang in there. We're going to get you back in here. And I'm going to give it over to Valerie right now. She's going to do a recap.
Thank you, Shanika. So here's a quick recap. By order of the Governor of South Carolina, the Loc Network and all other hair care service providers will be closed temporarily until April 15th. Newbies, don't panic. Follow your consultant's instructions and advice. If you have to, reach out to them during normal business hours via text or email if you really, really need to contact them. Veterans, separate. You don't want your locks to mat together and combine. Take this time to do a quick little quarantine hairdo. Try something new, maybe break out those wrap locks that you bought and haven't used yet. Put together some pipe cleaners and see what you can come up with to kind of camouflage the new growth. What we need to avoid, newbies and all lot wearers in general, please try to avoid excessive moisture and daily spritzing. Let's also try to avoid experimenting with any color or rinses. When we're doing styles, let's try not to create too much tension around the hairline. And remember, less is more. In reference to YouTube, it's okay to follow someone or watch what they're doing, but remember, your journey is your journey alone, and it's going to be totally different than anybody else's that you may see on YouTube or anywhere else. We have not forgotten you guys. Current customers and clients, we thank you. We have not forgotten you guys. As soon as this is over, we will be reaching out to you and getting you back on our books and scheduling our appointments with you guys so we can get you back on track. So again, to all our current customers and clients, thank you, thank you, thank you for your support and patience at this time. Anyone else who's watching this video, if you have any general comments or basic questions, please feel free to leave them down below, or you can contact us via text or email. And remember that your consultant, whoever your consultant may be, your consultant is your best resource for your hair care needs. To all the essential workers, those of you that are on the front line, in the grocery stores, truck drivers, thank you, thank you, thank you for what you're doing at this time of need. So everyone, please be blessed. Thank you for listening. Stay safe. And remember, we are all in this together. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.